Hello, my fellow Americans. This is the 1st of May 2025 edition of A Quiet Rage. First of all, a happy International Workers' Day to everyone. And may the people own the means of production. I know, crazy communist ideas, right? So let's got my notes. Let's start off addressing a bit of an elephant in the room, which would be the last video 2 weeks ago that I published. I apologize, by the way, if you can hear my dog chewing on his chew toy. I can't get him to stop. Hopefully it's not too bad. So my last video, let's have a look at the stats. It got, as of this taping, it has 1,151 views, 252 comments, and 22 likes, which equates to a 27% thumbs up rate. So MAGA, apparently I made you feel things, and they weren't things that you wanted to feel. Sorry, not sorry. Not worried about your feelings? Wonder where I got that from. What I found a bit bizarre, although I guess I should have expected it, is the way that some of the people that commented attacked not the points that I made. There were people that attacked the points I made, which I have to say the Supreme Court unanimously agreed with me, or I with them, really. And in the intervening time from last episode to this one, a federal judge appointed by Trump, by the way, has made a decision that the Trump administration cannot deport any more people using the Alien Enemies Act. So I was right. People tried to argue that as well, and that was expected. But the really strange thing was people that were attacking not what I said, not my stance, not my position, not my statements, although there were those, but there was a sizable portion of the commenters who were attacking my appearance, my mustache, for example. Like, it's a mustache. What does the mustache have to do with whether what I say is factual or not? Nothing. Somebody made a comment about me going bald. Yeah, I lost that particular genetic lottery. I'm also 5'4", so I lost that one too. That doesn't have anything to do with whether what I say is true or not. I got to experience over the last 2 weeks the tiniest little fraction of what it must be like to be a woman on the internet. People coming for my appearance, the general aesthetics of my little setup here. Like, what does that has nothing to do with whether I say something that's true or not. If you want to attack verbally what I say, my positions on things, fine. That's what we're here for. That's kind of part of the point of this channel, is I say what I have to say and you interact with that, with those ideas, with those stances. I dropped my pen. I mean, if you want to attack my parents, that just tells me you don't have a valid argument to make. One guy even, at the end of his comment, said he was holding back as much as he could. It was taking all of his strength to not engage in ad hominem attacks. Well, come here, buddy. Let me pat you on the back. Well done. Seriously? Get a fucking life. Anyway, there were some people, a fair number of people, that actually engaged in good faith, who even had some valid criticisms, or at least some well thought out criticisms of my style. But I'm not going to change what I do. I wear goofy t-shirts because I think it's funny. I'm a millennial and I haven't grown up yet. Sorry. I spent a lot of time underwater on a submarine, so I kind of missed out on some growing up, I guess. And I'm in my house. Like, I'm not a newscaster. I'm not a journalist. I'm just a dude with the electric internet at my disposal, and I do a little bit of research and I find things out. Anyway, enough of that. I'm sure I've already lost some people. I'm not going to change my format. I'm still learning about publishing and editing on YouTube specifically. I think I can put a chapter marker so that those of you MAGA who want to know what the point of this video is, you can just skip to that chapter at the end, or I will put the timestamp right here and you can skip to that. That way you don't have to sit through the conversational format that I am using here. There it is. You can skip to that. Okay, are they gone now? Good. I can't wait. I can't wait for them to get there. There's a little bit of snark going to be involved. Just because I can. So what I want to talk to you about today is the court-appointed special advocates and guardians ad litem, what's called CASA GAL. CASAGAL. You may or may not be familiar. I'll give a little information. CASA, the mission of CASA, I'll refer to it as that just for brevity's sake. The mission of CASA is to provide a trained advocate adult, a trusted adult, for children who are either in the foster care system, in the orphan, in the adoption system, and or children whose parents are in the legal system for whatever reason. Perhaps the parents have some kind of criminal proceeding that the court is trying to decide if the parents are, if one or more of the parents are still not worthy, is still to be trusted with the care of their children, or if the children should be removed from those parents. The CASA program it's an advocacy for children, especially young children going through the legal system, as I said, who don't understand necessarily, aren't old enough or smart enough to understand what is at stake, what's going on. Why do I bring this up? Why now? Well, reading directly from CASA's website, which I will link in the description, on April 22nd, just 2 weeks ago, not a week and a half ago, the U.S. Department of Justice, DOJ, issued over 360 notices of termination of federal grant awards. National CASA GAL was one of the organizations that received notices. According to the notices, the 3 grants to National CASA GAL are being terminated because they, quote, this is from the DOJ, quote, no longer effectuate the program goals or agency priorities, unquote, which includes, quote, protecting American children, unquote. This doesn't make any sense at all. As I said, CASA is an advocacy program specifically for children who are in the legal system or in the foster care system for any number of reasons. It's protecting children is CASA's entire reason for being. Because as anybody with half a brain knows, in any story there are 3 sides. His side, your side, and somewhere in the middle there's the truth. Maybe the parents are trying to convince the judge that they can still have custody of the children. Maybe the parents are fighting amongst themselves, between themselves, about who's going to have custody, whatever it may be. The children can possibly be swayed, can be coached by their parents, by their family, grandparents, whatever, to side with one parent or the other, or side with both parents, trying to tell the judge, no, it's fine, everything's fine. A CASA volunteer, stay with me, just because I said volunteer doesn't mean this thing doesn't cost money to somebody. A CASA volunteer is assigned to the child and stays with them throughout, from beginning to end, of their time in the court system, in the legal system, in the foster care system, whatever it may be. They spend one-on-one time, they spend time with the parents and the child, so that there is an objective third party who can speak as an advocate on behalf of the child. This is all about the welfare of children. That's all this is for. Now, as I said, it's volunteers. My sister is one of my 3 sisters, the middle one, is a CASA volunteer, which is why I know a little bit about this. I've also, my local civic league organization had a CASA, somebody who actually is employed by CASA, came and gave us a presentation, so I got to know a little bit more. And yes, it's volunteers that actually go with the child from beginning to end of the legal process, the foster care, whatever it may be. But those volunteers need to have training. They need to have background checks. They need to get certified to do this. We're talking about children. You have to have some training. You have to have, as I said, a background check. We got to make sure that you're not a crazy person. That you actually have the welfare of these children in mind. My other dog has entered the room, and now, hey, please keep quiet. Here she comes. Hi, Miss Bella. Hi, pretty girl. Where was I? So this training, this certification. Oh yeah, see, there he is with the chew toy. Thank you, Bandit. The training, the certification, the background checks, these things cost money. And the organization needs to promote itself. There's always going to be a need for more volunteers. And promoting the program, the CASA program, and getting the word out there that more volunteers are needed, that costs money. Is the money that is going to CASA directly going to the children? No, it's not. It's not even going directly to the volunteers. It's paying the staff that train and validate these. So does the money directly benefit the children? No, but the program does. The program protects American children. And we need this program. The children need this. And its funding has been cut, as I said. That is just for the national CASA funding. There are state and local and individual monies that CASA also uses to operate. So not all of their funding is gone. But if you cut the national program, it's pretty easy to understand there's going to be a waterfall effect, and downstream a child is going to not have an advocate because of these funding cuts. So, as I said, I'm going to link the page. If you have the ability, please make a donation. If you have the time, please consider volunteering yourself. There's no, if you're an adult with a clean background and a level of give a shit for children, you're qualified. You can do this job. And they would love to have you. There's always going to be a need, whether it's in a large in a big city where there's a lot of people, or in a small community where people might think, well, we don't have problems like that. My sister lives in a pretty small, relatively small city. Not a huge metropolitan area. It's a college town, but there's needs everywhere. Whether it's a big city or a tiny little, or just a rural county somewhere, there's going to be a need. And if there's not a need right this moment, and you get and you can be on the bench and be ready to be called in, there's nothing wrong with that. Another thing that we can and should do is contact our senators and our representatives. And there's a form that CASA provides. It'll be right on the front page. You scroll to the bottom of the page I'm going to link. There's a script that they provide to you, not so that you know what to say. If you want to say your own thing, if you think you can say something better than what they got there, it's pretty good though. It lines everything out. This is what they do, and this is why we're concerned, and this is what we want you as a representative or a senator to do on our behalf as our elected officials. So I strongly recommend you do that. This I think is something that we can all get behind. CASA has it's a good program. It's worth your while. It's something we need, and it protects children. So that's all I got for you tonight. Let's protect CASA. Here come the thundering herd of my two dogs. I'm almost done. Please just give me 1 minute. Yeah, we gotta protect CASA. We have to. Bandit, sir. All right, I gotta get out of here. Keep your powder dry, and if you're mad about bullshit like CASA getting getting cut. Keep that quiet rage. Good night, my fellow Americans.